So if demand describes the willingness and ability of consumers, either individually or in total, to purchase certain quantities at certain prices, we have the demand curve, that only explains half of a market economy. The other half is all those people selling things. We call them suppliers. And to measure their or to get a sense of their behavior in the market, we have to look at a different concept called supply. So if we think about, again, let's stick with the market for coffee, because that's what we've been talking about, and that's also something that we all have some familiarity with. If we think about the market for coffee, well, think about that suppliers, people who sell coffee, have a certain cost for producing that cup of coffee. So Starbucks, right here, they had a certain cost to produce this cup of coffee. They had to pay for the beans. They had to pay for the shipping service that brought the beans. They had to pay for the paper cup, rent on the store. They had to pay their employees, electricity, a little bit of know-how, technical know-how to make the coffee, right? So all of that goes into producing a cup of coffee. Now they're going to sell coffee for no less than what it cost them to make it. They sell for less than what it cost them to make it. In the long run, they're going to obviously go out of business, right? You can't sell things for less than it cost you to make it. You just lose money. So let's take a look at what suppliers might do given different prices. So let's pick a price of 10 cents. At 10 cents, a supplier of coffee might be willing to supply zero. Just forget it. I'm out of business. If all I can sell it for is 10 cents a cup, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do something else. Let's say a price of $2 though. Well, okay, that is actually pretty great because at $2 a cup, I can make a pretty large profit. It only costs me, say, 50 cents a cup to make it. Then I'm going to sell for $2 a cup. I'm going to sell way out here. I'm going to sell a huge quantity. Let's say I'm just making these numbers up. Let's say 1,000 cups. I'm willing to sell 1,000 cups a day at $2 a cup. At $1 a cup, well, there's less profit to be made now, isn't there? I'm not going to be making as much profit. There's not as much benefit to my efforts to even sell the cup. So maybe I'll keep selling some coffee, but I'll also sell tea as well. I don't know. Let's say it's 500 cups. Well, if I do this for each and every price and measure the willingness and ability to sell, I'm going to then get a curve that slopes up to the right. Now, the reason, again, it slopes up to the right is because as the price that you're able to charge for the cup goes up, the profit you make on that cup goes up. Well, that makes good sense, right? If I can charge more, I'm going to make more profit. If I make more profit, then that sounds great to me. The more the profit, the more I'm willing to sell. The less the profit, the less I'm willing to sell. In fact, if I can't charge more than 10 cents, I'm out of here. I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to be a strawberry farmer or something like that. So the supply curve slopes up to the right because of the profit possibilities. Profit possibilities. Now, how much it slopes up to the right and how far to the right it is will depend on a lot of things. And we'll look at those in the next video. But if we have a supply curve like this, the reason it slopes up to the right is because of our willingness and ability to sell at a variety of prices, and that is up to the right because at higher prices we make more money, profit possibilities. So while we have this curve up here, what happens if the price in the market changes? Let's say I'm selling coffee 500 cups at $1 a cup, but suddenly conditions are such that I could charge $1.50. Will the supply curve move because of that? It will not. It will only move along the supply curve. And in other words, my incentives for selling the cup haven't changed. All that's changed is the price. So when the price changes, the quantity I'm willing to sell will change. But nothing else about the supply will change. So when the price changes, I find that my incentives for selling the cup tell me that I'd like to sell 750 cups. This is a change in quantity supplied. This is a change in quantity supplied. This is not a change in the supply curve itself. price changes won't change the supply curve. Price changes won't change the supply curve. It's just that changes in price will only change the quantity supplied. If the price goes down to 50 cents a cup, well, less profit, I'm going to then maybe scale back and only sell 250 cups, right? And that makes logical sense. So price and quantity are directly related. There's a positive relationship between price and quantity in the coffee market and in really every market. And that's because of the possibility of making profit. As the price of a product goes up, or the price I'm able to charge goes up, well then I think I'm going to sell more of it. I'm going to make plans to make more coffee. I'm going to hire more baristas and get more paper cups and whatever because there's more profit to be made. Where the supply curve is and its shape is going to be determined by a number of other factors we'll look at in the next video.